Hey guys, thanks for joining the Lunch and Learn for today. My name's Cameron Irby. I'll be the host for today. I'm from the support team. Sonali, I know we have a question from you, but everyone else, if you have a question, feel free to raise your hand and come off mute to ask that question, or just post it in the chat. So I'll go ahead with start with Sonali's question. We are having issues with checking a name session into repo from dev, but when we pull down the changes from repo onto staging, the name session is not in staging. Okay, so for this, are we talking name sessions as in what we use for like integrations where we assign an account to a name session? Okay. That I'm not even sure if it is best practice to, import and export name sessions since it's tied to an account. And I don't believe we recommend importing and exporting accounts. That I'm not too sure. Let me see what I can dig up really quick.
Yeah, another thing I was thinking was import the name session directly to that server, but I wasn't sure that's best practice either.
Yeah, I think this is something I can definitely ask devs about. But I think it falls under the case where we don't really recommend importing and exporting name sessions like we do for accounts.
And another weird thing is that on the staging server, even though there aren't any name sessions in that folder, if you try to create an integration on a flow, it still shows the name session in the list.
Like, so the name session is still saved to the flow, but
Hmm.
but it doesn't exist on the actual server.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, let me try creating a quick name session. Slash. Let's see if we can import export these.
Yeah, and we have a support ticket open too, but just wanted to hop up here just in case we could look at it sooner.
Yeah, it does look like you should be able to export and add to projects. So in your repo, do we see the name session?
Yeah, there's a record of it being checked into the repo.
And does the account exist on staging for the name session that that's in repo?
I believe so. If Peter, you can confirm that.
Yeah, I could definitely see issues with importing a name session if that account doesn't exist on the same on your staging or the other target machines. Yeah, I'll see who has that ticket and I'll follow up with them about that, and we can get some more data there.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I have my colleague Peter Ong on as well, but he's not able to talk, so.
Gotcha. Looks like Wade raised his hand.
Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Yep, I can hear you
Oh,
fine.
yep, I can hear you.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Wade, you can go ahead, Wade.
Okay, I thought I heard that Peter talking or something, but okay.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, mine's related to, I think, the named session. I kind of came in a few minutes late, but we were just getting into integrating this with our backend ERP, and we're going to make a call to our flow. And I was just going through the different options for the integration, like the name session and all the different options. But we usually, when we do a call like that, we have I don't want to say generic, but a token that we send. It doesn't belong to any specific person. It's just a key that a security key that we use. But to go through the documentation, it's like, it seems like to connect like that, it either has to be a name session that's connected to a user, or a JSON web token that is also connected to a user.
Right. Are you talking about integrations like using a decision flow as an API?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would have to authenticate through decisions. So that's what the name session or basic auth or a token would do, tied to an account. Would just have you logged in as that user.
Okay, because our users, the request is going to be coming from our ERP system, so there's not going to be really a user logged in doing it. It's going to be our system making the request. So would the process be, I just make not like a generic, but use like an admin user as the named user for that in that situation, or should I do something different?
You could create an account for your system. That way you can apply permission specific to that system, so that it doesn't have everything in decisions that an admin user would have. So you could set it up like just like a system account
Okay.
for that. And then you could just set it up to be a name session.
Okay, so just make a generic user that's just for doing those calls.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, that makes sense. I did have one other question, if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should be an easy one. All of our times, and this maybe help this ticket instead, but all of our times are like 5 hours off. Like I created something at 11 and it said I did it at 4 o'clock today, PM. And I went through the documentation, and I had a time zone overview, and I did what it said to do, but nothing changed. Is that a restart I got to do? Am I doing something? Do I need to do something else?
This is time zone translation.
I guess so. I mean, when I go and enter a form, it says I entered at 4 PM today, and so the times on the form when it said I created are just off. I'm guessing it's at UTC.
Yeah, it would be the server time.
So I'm like, how do I change that?
Let's see. And you haven't given it a restart after setting that time zone?
Well, I'm not. It's Decisions is hosting our server, so I can't.
Gotcha.
I did what I did is there's a time zone time zones overview doc that just says go to system data, location, and then edit the default location, which I did that to our headquarters, but again, it's still the same time. I created a new form after that, and it's still the same issue. But I didn't know if that would have fixed it or not. I don't know if that's the right thing I should have did to correct the time on the created forms.
Yeah, I think you might want to add the time zone to your account, if I'm remembering this correctly. It's been a while since I touched time translation. Let me check this out. I believe if you edit the account, you should have a time zone.
Where do I do that?
You would go under system, security accounts, and right click and edit your account.
Oh, edit my account. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like our account as a whole. Okay.
Oh, no.
It's set as Eastern time zone. Just where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, let me go through this time zone doc. Some data. And you edit the default location.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. This system. I think it's system data, locations, and then I edited that. I did because I couldn't. It has not been restarted. Like I said, I don't even know if this is what is going to fix it. Because it was set to, the default was set to whatever, yeah, UTC.
Let me see. The doc doesn't say anything about needing a restart.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what am I doing something wrong?
There is a setting in your settings XML file that we would need to update. If it's not updated, the tag is called use time zone translation, and it could be false. So it's not actually doing anything. So we want to set that to true and give it a service restart.
You guys have to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a help desk ticket.
I can get that ticket in for you.
Oh, okay, that would be great.
Yep, just need a company name to attach it to.
Okay, it's Heritage Environmental.
And just drop your email address in the chat here.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll get that created. Perfect. Thank you, sir. All right, and I'll get that ticket submitted as soon as we hop off of this. Peter, seems like you were saying something before we went with Wade.
No, I was just gonna add to Sonali's conversation, but I think we're gonna take that away.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. We should be following up on that ticket. You might need to get some more data here.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm just sending more details to the support team for that.
All right, thank you, sir. Any more questions? Feel free to drop it in the chat or come off of mute and ask that, and I'll try to get a best answer for you guys.
Since I was here already on the call, I do have a ticket about this, but I just figured since I was here, I'd bring it up.
Oh, you do? Okay. Let me see if someone pulled that already.
This particular ticket was about
Oh, separate issue.
this particular ticket was about whenever for single sign-on, we do it by email with Azure or SAML, but it's case sensitive is the problem. So if for some reason it would ever change on our Azure side, someone would update that directory, it would create a new user on our end, or and within decisions. There doesn't seem to be. I'm working through my support person is trying to come up with a solution, but it would be nice if there's just like, to be able to update the query that does find that person to not, be case insensitive. I don't know if there's an easy setting for that. I seen settings in there, but I couldn't find any documentation on it.
Yeah, I don't think, at least for SSO, I don't recall any like setting for that.
There was a setting I couldn't find any documentation. I'm trying to find it now. I'm going to my SAML settings, and there's a setting called authorization context comparison attribute, and it has 4 different values: exact, better, minimum, and maximum. I couldn't find what those mean.
And what setting was this?
So I went into I installed the SAML module to do our single sign-on. So I went into settings and then SAML settings, and then I created identity provider. I set it all up with the metadata URL. But then it defaulted the setting called authorization context. I keep saying it wrong. Authorization context comparison attribute.
Okay, I see that.
And it's defaulted to exact. And I was like, does that mean the case of the name ID policy? Because that's what's right above it. And I don't know what exact, better, min, max mean.
I also have not a clue.
Okay.
Let me see if this is in our docs at all.
Like I said, I got a support ticket and he's trying to help find a workaround to it, but I was like, well, it's feel it's a semi-common issue. I didn't know if it'd be nice if there was a setting for it. But also the Salesforce admin, and they just literally have a checkbox that says case insensitive, and you can just check it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think if we don't have that, I think that would be a good feature request to get in. Yeah, I definitely think so. I don't know, that authorization context comparison sounds like it could be it if you are set to exact.
Yeah, that's what I was like. It sounds like it's going down the right alley, but it doesn't come out and say it anywhere. That's what it's actually comparing, is the whatever you're choosing as the name ID.
Yeah, let me ping one of my SSO SMEs who might know what this setting does.
But in our Oracle database, we do queries, and I was like, man, if I could just get a hold of whatever query it's going to do to look up the email to match it up to our directory, I could just change what it's looking for as lower and what it finds as lower, and then compare the two. So if I could just change the SQL, script, but I guess that's hidden behind, you guys have that hidden, so I can't change that, probably for good reason.
Yeah, it definitely seems like something in the back end that checks that.
But I was like, yeah, if there is a feature request on the name ID policy just to have a case insensitive check mark, that would be most helpful.
Yeah, I think that should be easy enough to confirm what this attribute is doing. And if it's not looking at comparing the exact names for what's coming in for your SAML accounts, then I think we could definitely get in a future request to have something to look at that for case sensitivity.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. And we can just follow up back on that ticket. All right. Any other questions? Yep, thank you, Wade. Any additional questions? Going once, going twice, going thrice. All right, if you have nothing else, we're good to call it for this. Thank you guys for joining our Lunch and Learn for today. Feel free to invite your colleagues. We do this every Monday through Thursday at noon. Thanks for joining.